Good morning. It's Tuesday, January 20th. Here at EPCOT, just about 9:55. Just finished standing in line for pin drop. Pretty successful day. I'll post up the picture here of the pins that were available. First one to sell out was actually A to Z today. It's kind of surprising. All of the Winnie the Pooh's still available 1 hour after being in line, so I'll call that a successful day. My daughter and my granddaughter both are big Winnie the Pooh fans, so pins for them today. And now I'll start my walking around the world showcase. As you've seen from a couple of my prior videos, of the first video, we distance marked this walk a mile to do the complete loop. Today, as I came in, I went left towards Mexico, so backwards from the last video that I posted, but obviously still the same distance once you go around. But started thinking about the last two videos that I posted and thought that I haven't really told you guys much about me. Those videos never made it up online as I started this, and just trying to kind of find some direction in what I was going to do. So I think I've said it before, but my name's Mike, 56 years old, moved to Florida about 4 years ago. I'm originally from Southern California, born and raised. Lived in Huntington Beach, which is about 20 miles from Disneyland. Grew up an avid Disneyland fan. My parents took us to the parks 2 or 3 times a year, so kind of grew up there. And as I started my family, I have 3 children, as well as 3 grandchildren now. But my wife and I, both being from Southern California, Disneyland fans, our families spend a lot of time in the parks. We had annual passes basically since the year before my wife and I got married. In fact, I asked my wife to marry me in front of Cinderella's castle in Disneyland. There's a stone as you walk out of the castle, 10 stones out. Significance there is my wife and I, our first date was on June 10th of 1989. I asked her to marry me on December 10th of 1990, about 18 months later. So I thought, what better than the 10th stone out from the castle to mark the location, which is again where I asked her to marry me. That'll be 35 years ago, this June 15th. So the reason I started this was, I think like many people with COVID, created a pretty, I guess we'll say, sedentary lifestyle. I worked for a major avionics company in Southern California for about 20 years, and we had a pretty large campus. And with that meant moving between buildings. So it was nothing for me to spend my time traveling between buildings for meetings and log 1.5, 2, 3, even 4 miles walking in a day. Well, with COVID, everybody went to remote working, and suddenly that lifestyle changed. I was always a bigger guy. I'm 6 foot. At that time, I was about 240, 250 pounds, and still overweight, certainly. And not what I would have considered morbidly obese, but certainly obese, and have come to recognize that. But with that sedentary lifestyle, I suddenly found that I started getting bigger and bigger. And with that increased weight gain and the lack of activity, I continued to grow up until, like I said, about 4 years ago. My wife and I decided to move to Florida as my oldest daughter and my 3 grandkids with my son-in-law moved here. My wife went through some, difficult depression states where she was the primary caregiver for those kids growing up all the way till they started elementary school, and suddenly they were not around anymore. And I realized that I needed to make a change for my family, so thankfully my employer was more than happy to let me stay as a remote employee and move to Florida, which solved one of those issues, and that was, helping get us back close to our oldest daughter and our 3 grandkids. But again, being a remote employee, nothing driving me to be active, that created challenges, again, for me to be active, right? Having no real motivation to get out of the house once you're working from home, and it's just easy to walk down the stairs, go to work, and when the day's over, leave your home office, grab a seat on the couch, watch some television, but again, nothing that was motivating me or forcing me to be active. So on top of that, I'm a diabetic, which my endocrinologist in California believed that the answer for correcting my blood sugar was the addition of more insulin. Well, one of the side effects, if you will, of insulin is that it convinces your body to retain fat. So on top of not being active, being a diabetic on insulin and increasing my insulin doses, next thing you knew, I got to July of 2024, went to the endocrinologist, and I was 348.6 pounds. My endocrinologist in Florida had taken a different approach with me. She was very convinced that I could make corrections in my diabetes, I could make corrections in myself. If I would commit, she would make medication adjustments that would help me improve and ultimately get me into a better position from a health perspective. Not just the medications I was taking, but my weight, the way my body felt, all of that combined. So I remember leaving there in July saying, okay, I will give you the 10 minutes a day that you asked for in activity. And I trusted that what she was telling me, that the medication changes she was going to make with my insulin would be the correction I needed. So, as I said, July 2024, when we would come to the parks, prior to that date, I was always having issues with my knees. They both have been replaced, however, they would still swell, and it was quite uncomfortable. I had pains in my hips, pains in my knee. I had what I would say some sort of joint inflammation going on kind of throughout my body. My joints hurt. And with that, made it difficult for me to spend the time in the parks with my grandkids, with my kids, with my wife. So again, I committed to that 10 minutes of exercise. It started out as 10 minutes in the morning, walking down the street from my house, and then walking the 10 minutes to get back home. And that's what I did for the month of July. In August, I was fortunate enough, or some people may say unfortunate enough, to be assigned to a program that was going to take me to Vietnam to begin working with a new manufacturer for the company that I work for. And so in September, we made that trip. But before then, I was doing that 10 minutes of walking from my front door and trying to get farther and farther. So in essence, I was putting in 20 minutes. I wanted to see that if my activity could change and I forced myself through pain to continue, that I would see some changes. Well, those medication changes were the introduction of a medication called Synjardy, which is metformin mixed with something, I don't remember what. You can look it up online. And pioglitazide. Those two medications were added to my medication regimen, as well as Mounjaro, a GLP-1 medication at 2.5 milligrams, the initial dosage. And I mean, the GLP-1 medication, obviously it's all over the news, it's prevalent now in society. GLP-1 medication does certainly reduce the hunger that you have. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, but I can tell you that being on GLP medication does take you being hungry away. At least for me. I'm not saying that's for everybody, but that's what it did to me, which I think was my doctor's intended consequence. So with that, in my increase in activity, I started to see weight shed. And to be honest, I only weigh myself when I'm at the doctor. I don't step on a scale at home. I don't try to figure out, how much did I lose today? What did I lose yesterday? I don't track my own weight. I let the doctor do that. And I just committed to maintaining that 20 minutes of exercise a day, or 20 minutes of activity. I don't necessarily know that walking down the street is hard exercise, but I called it exercise, and it certainly, for me, is activity. So as we progressed through month after month, through what has now been a year and a half, to give you the Reader's Digest version of that, I go to the doctor today, this afternoon. To be honest, I don't know what I weigh right now. My last weigh-in with the doctor, I was down to, I believe it was 286 pounds. If I had to guess right now, I think I'm walking around 250 pounds. I am just about at that 100-pound weight loss marker with 18 months of activity. Don't call it exercise. It's not meant to be strenuous, but it's force yourself to be active. And I shared this in one of my first 2 videos that I posted. I don't remember which one, but I know plenty of people that are also on GLP medications. And as I've shared, the difference between myself and them is the commitment to activity. As I said, going back, fortunate or unfortunate, to that first trip to Vietnam, that forced me to be active. And what I say by that is, I decided I was going to go out and walk from my hotel to find food. I was going to walk from my hotel to see the sights in Hanoi, in the center part of town. And I wasn't going to rely on a supported mobility transportation. I was going to do it for myself. And I also decided on that trip, after about 2 months of activity at home with that 20 minutes of walking, that had slowly been increasing, I was going to dedicate 30 minutes in the morning to the treadmill in the hotel gym. So I would wake up every morning and I would walk on the treadmill, combined with the outdoor activity that I was doing. And again, my focus is, and my encouragement to you is to monitor your activity by time and commitment to yourself. Commit to yourself that you can find 5 minutes. And being in that, I kind of laugh. There's a community page on Facebook or other social medias called Disney Plus Size Writers. And I actually joined that group because I was worried if I could fit on rides. My calves were extremely large, my midsection extremely large. I had a 48-inch waist. I felt like I wasn't going to fit. And so I think a lot of times that ECV, that scooter, became an excuse vehicle for me to just say, well, I can't do that because I'm on this vehicle. And certainly Disney accommodates those and allows you to transfer from them. But that was what I could use as my excuse as to why I couldn't do something, because on top of how I felt personally, right, the hidden inside of me that said I'm just too big to do this, was my excuse maker. But as I said, I know I'm jumping around a lot. There's a lot to share, and I want you guys to understand why I'm doing this. So with each month traveling back and forth to the US, back to Asia, that forced that routine of, time committed on the treadmill and walking in the neighborhoods. And all of that together is what led to, as I got home, my motivation to walk around the parks. And so my love for Disney, my love for family, spending time with my wife, my children, my grandchildren, and as I said, we've been pass holders for as long as I can remember in Disneyland, and then also when we moved here to Florida. That connection to Disney is what brought me here to start this journey. And so, as you saw in my first posted video, I started measuring, monitoring, tracking to walk around the world. Other people go around the world to drink, other people go around the world to eat. I go around the world to walk. I know that it is just over 1 mile, so I call it just 1 mile and know that I'm doing a little bit more. But it's the way for me to walk, enjoy the sights and sounds. I really love to walk around EPCOT and what I'm doing today. But that drives my activity. Being a pass holder allows me to come here first thing in the morning when crowds are maybe not as big, except for major holidays, events, etc., which maybe has a little more crowd, but at the same time gives me kind of a free pass to walk, explore, be outside, but more importantly, be active. And so that's what I encourage you to do. I encourage you to find your place, find your space that is something that will help you and begin this process as I've shared, I will post up what I weigh today when I go to the doctor this afternoon. However, 18 months of dedication, obviously the help of medication, the support of an amazing endocrinologist. I'm going to ask her if I can share her name. So those that are local to the Orlando area, if you are under and care of an endocrinologist, can seek, potentially her support. But again, with her efforts, her monitoring of my blood, the changes that I've made within myself, I have dropped one of my blood pressure medications. I was on 3 different blood pressure medications to control my blood pressure. One of those has been completely removed. My blood pressure is well under control now, and looking forward to dropping more medications, taking less, being more active, and finding success as I continue through this journey. I'm just about to come around to Mexico, believe it or not, which is the first mile done. We are at 10:15. This is about my average pace, about a 15-20 minute walk. But again, I encourage you guys to come out here. If you're local, I come every Tuesday morning, walk with me, enjoy being outside. I will help you with motivation. We can talk. I can point out the locations that I have found that are good for you to stop and take a break. It all starts with just think of it as 1/10 of a mile. You can go back and look at the videos. There are mile markers in the first video that help you identify the distance traveled. I'm trying to give you videos that show you the seating areas, places you can stop and take a break. One thing to consider, and what I might do, is post up a video that gives you a start, walk to, and a return to your vehicle video, where you can park your vehicle in a shady, safe location. In the summer months, it's going to be hot, but today it happens to be 45 degrees in Florida, so you see me walking around in a jacket and a beanie. But I'm going to work to identify locations to where you can park, walk to an attraction, walk to another place of rest. So when you're 350, 400 pounds, my brother is much larger than me. I haven't seen him in a number of years. I'm unsure how big he is now, but he was always much larger than me. But coming from a large family, I know the challenges of being in that morbidly obese label, and I know the challenges that it takes. And I'm here to tell you, you seek the support from your medical team, seek the support. Hi there, can I see the pinboard?
Sure.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Seek the support from your medical team, right? You're likely under the care of a lot of doctors, as I am. A gastroenterologist, an endocrinologist, a cardiologist, a rheumatologist, as well as my GP. And all of them have told me the same thing. Whatever it is you're doing, keep doing, because it's working. So, again, I'm not saying that my method, my answers are the result for everybody. But what I can tell you is if you're in a common situation as me, type 2 diabetic, one time told I was a type 1 diabetic because the medication wasn't working and only insulin was correcting it. blood tests that were telling me that my blood cells were no longer receptors. And watching that change has been so rewarding. When I was on an insulin pump, my pump was measuring an average daily consumption of nearly 200 units of insulin. Today, my average daily consumption is somewhere less than 20 units, if any at all. And that is because of the efforts I have put in to be more active. At least that's what my doctors tell me. So believe in yourself, believe you can do this, and enjoy the journey. It's not always going to be a fast, rewarding effort. There are times where the effort is going to feel like a stall, and that's okay. Just keep pushing forward. As you may have noticed on my page, it's one day at a time, one step at a time, and continue to believe in yourself, believe in your effort, believe in your commitment, and just know that I believe in you. I believe that there are others who have struggled like me, others who have been challenged like me, and others who can succeed like me. And one last note, I do want to reward my wife. We were here this weekend. She suffers with neuropathy, which obviously makes it very challenging for her to walk. She has been one of those people, just like I think a lot of society, that gained weight through COVID. And she committed to stepping out of the ECV, walking through the pain, and made it from Canada to France. So if you don't know, that is just over 1/10 of a mile. But that is for somebody who, all the trips before, for as far back as I can remember, didn't take a step inside of EPCOT. It wasn't a fast walk. Pace doesn't matter. It's the commitment to the effort. And I'm so proud of her for making that first step. And I'm looking forward to watching her continue. She used to watch me, encouraged me, motivated me to continue. And I'm looking forward to helping her do the same. If you want to get out here and join us, I'm sure she will come out and join us. But really looking forward to seeing you guys all as we continue these walks around the world showcase, walks around Disney. I do walk many of the parks. EPCOT happens to be my favorite one to walk in the mornings because the crowds are low. As I said, walking through the different lands, hearing the music change, seeing the smiling faces. But again, as you're probably picking up from the crowds behind me, the crowds aren't too big, which makes it easy to continue to move, continue to do the things that you want to do in a comfortable space, not a lot of people around, and you find those opportunities to improve yourself. So I'm coming up on America, which is half a mile from the front. This is my second lap around, so 1.5 miles for me. I'm going to end the video here, but again, look forward to meeting you guys in the future. I haven't been socially advertising this channel as of yet. Still trying to kind of find my rhythm, my story, share what I am, share what I'm doing, try to motivate others, and let others enjoy Disney with me. I really look forward to meeting friends in the future. I hope you all have a great day. And remember, it's just one step at a time, one day at a time. Believe in yourself and know that I believe in you too. Take care, friends. Bye for now.